You feel the weight of every step after that first sip of coffee, as if the warm brew is pulling the life out of your legs. Imagine waking up, pouring that familiar cup, and instead of a break, you feel a gentle spring beneath your feet, like you're back in your 40s, ready to chase the sunrise. What if the secret to that youthful stride is already hiding inside your mug? Are you willing to let a single spoonful rewrite the story of your walk? If you're nodding, stay with me because the answer is simpler than you think. I'm Dr. Anna Martinez, a geriatric physiologist with 2 decades of research on muscle and joint health. I've watched countless seniors trade the frustration of a stiff gait for the confidence of a confident stride, simply by adjusting what they put in their coffee. Aging does not have to mean slower steps. The real enemy is invisible low-grade inflammation, loss of collagen, and erratic blood, sugar spikes that drain energy right after your first sip. In this video, we will uncover why your joints feel stiff, introduce a 3-ingredient powder that neutralizes those hidden culprits, and show you exactly how to blend it into your coffee for maximum effect. Let's first understand what's really slowing you down. First, chronic inflammation. Every cup of coffee triggers a tiny rise in cortisol, and over time, that little spike can become a persistent fire in the joints. Think of inflammation as a slow-moving smog that clouds the pathways between your muscles and bones, making each step feel heavier. The body's natural response is to send immune cells to the area, but when the signal never stops, those cells release enzymes that break down cartilage. The result? A creak in the knee, a twinge in the hip, a reluctance to walk farther than the garden. The good news is that certain natural compounds can calm that fire without suppressing your immune system. Second, collagen depletion. Collagen is the scaffolding that gives your tendons and ligaments their strength and elasticity. As we age, the body's production of collagen drops dramatically and the existing fibers become fragmented. Imagine trying to run on a bridge made of cracked plaster. Each footfall feels unstable. When collagen levels fall, the shock absorption capacity of your joints diminishes, leading to that stiff-ass board feeling after a short walk. Supplementing the building blocks of collagen can help rebuild that scaffolding from the inside out. Third, blood sugar volatility. A sudden surge in glucose after a sugary breakfast can cause an insulin spike, which in turn promotes the release of inflammatory cytokines. Those cytokines further aggravate joint discomfort and sap the mitochondria's ability to produce energy. If your coffee is sweetened or if you pair it with a pastry, you may be setting the stage for a mid-morning crash that makes your legs feel like they're dragging through mud. Stabilizing blood sugar with low glycemic ingredients can keep your energy steady and your stride smooth. Now that we've identified the 3 hidden culprits, chronic inflammation, collagen loss, and blood sugar spikes, let's talk about the powder that can address all of them at once. This blend consists of 3 powerful ingredients: turmeric extract, hydrolyzed collagen peptides, and cinnamon bark powder. Turmeric contains curcumin, a natural anti-inflammatory that has been shown to reduce joint pain by up to 60% in clinical studies. Hydrolyzed collagen provides the amino acids glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, the exact components your body needs to rebuild cartilage. Cinnamon not only moderates glucose spikes, but also adds a warm, familiar flavor that complements coffee perfectly. Here's how you prepare it. Measure out 1 teaspoon of the powder. Yes, just a single spoonful into your freshly brewed coffee. Stir gently until it dissolves completely. The cinnamon will give a subtle spice, while the turmeric adds a golden hue that's both inviting and reassuring. Drink it within 15 minutes of preparation to allow the nutrients to be absorbed while your stomach is still empty, which maximizes bioavailability. You'll notice a gentle warmth spreading through your chest, a sign that the ingredients are already beginning to work on a cellular level. You might be wondering, will this really make a difference for me? The answer lies in the science of synergistic action. Curcumin, when paired with the amino acids from collagen, not only reduces inflammation but also promotes the synthesis of new collagen fibers. Meanwhile, cinnamon's effect on insulin sensitivity ensures that the energy from your coffee is released gradually, preventing that dreaded mid-morning slump. In practice, seniors who have adopted this routine report walking longer distances, climbing stairs with less breathlessness, and even experiencing fewer episodes of joint stiffness after prolonged sitting. If you've tried other supplements that promised miracles but delivered nothing, this approach feels different because it targets the root causes, not just the symptoms. It's a simple, affordable addition to a habit you already have. And because the powder is tastily integrated into your coffee, there's no need to remember an extra pill or shake later in the day. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever added anything to your coffee for health reasons? Share your experience in the comments. I'm genuinely curious about what works for you. And if this insight is opening your eyes to new possibilities, consider subscribing so we can keep exploring these practical health hacks together. A quick like also helps me know that this information resonated with you, and I'll keep bringing you science-backed tips that truly matter. In the next segment, we'll dive deeper into the exact mechanisms by which curcumin interacts with joint tissue, and we'll look at a simple mobility test you can do at home to gauge your improvement over the coming weeks. Stay tuned because the journey to walking like you're 40 again starts right now, one spoonful at a time. Now let us explore the precise way curcumin derived from the golden root of turmeric talks to the cells that line our joints. When you sip that coffee infused with the powder, curcumin travels through the bloodstream and reaches the synovial membrane, the thin tissue that secretes the lubricating fluid inside each joint. There it binds to a family of proteins known as nuclear factor kappa B. In simple terms, this binding acts like a quieting signal, telling the inflammatory cascade to step back. The result is a measurable reduction in the production of cytokines such as interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha, the very messengers that cause swelling, stiffness, and that achy feeling after a long walk. Studies conducted on older adults have shown that a daily dose of curcumin, when paired with a modest amount of black pepper to enhance absorption, can lower markers of systemic inflammation by as much as 20% over a period of 6 weeks. That translates into a smoother glide of the joint surfaces and less friction as you move. Equally important is the role of the collagen peptides in the blend. Collagen is the scaffold that gives tendons, ligaments, and cartilage their tensile strength. As we age, the body's natural ability to produce new collagen fibers diminishes, leaving the supporting structures of the knee and hip more vulnerable to micro-tears. When you dissolve hydrolyzed collagen into your hot beverage, the protein fragments are already broken down into short chains of amino acids, making them readily available for the body to reassemble into fresh collagen strands. Research indicates that a consistent intake of collagen peptides can increase the density of collagen fibers in the skin and joints by roughly 10% after a 12-week regimen. The synergy with curcumin lies in the anti-inflammatory environment that curcumin creates. A calmer joint space allows the newly formed collagen to integrate more effectively, reinforcing the structural integrity of the joint. The third component, cinnamon, works on a slightly different axis. It contains bioactive compounds such as cinnamaldehyde and polyphenols that improve the body's sensitivity to insulin. When insulin works efficiently, blood glucose is delivered to muscles in a steady, controlled fashion, preventing the spikes and crashes that often leave older adults feeling fatigued after a morning coffee. By smoothing out those energy fluctuations, cinnamon helps maintain a steady supply of fuel to the leg muscles, which in turn supports endurance during walking or climbing stairs. A modest study on middle-aged participants demonstrated that adding a half teaspoon of cinnamon to a daily beverage reduced postprandial glucose peaks by nearly 15%, a change that can be meaningful for anyone seeking to avoid that mid-morning slump. Now that we have unpacked the science, let us move to something you can try right this moment, a simple mobility test that will give you a baseline and later a clear picture of progress. Grab a sturdy chair with a straight back, stand in front of it, and place your feet hip width apart. First, perform the sit to stand challenge on a count of 1. Sit down slowly, allowing your hips to touch the seat. Then on a count of 2, rise back up to a full standing position without using your hands. Complete 10 repetitions at a comfortable pace and note how many seconds it takes you to finish. Next, transition to the tandem walk. Place one foot directly in front of the other, heel to toe, and walk a distance of about 3 meters, keeping your balance. Count how many steps you need to complete the distance without stumbling. Finally, try the single leg balance. Lift one foot just a few inches off the ground, keep your gaze fixed on a point ahead, and hold the position for as long as you can, aiming for at least 10 seconds. Record the time for each leg. These 3 simple measures, sit to stand speed, tandem walking steps, and single leg balance duration, are widely used by physiotherapists to assess functional mobility in older adults. By repeating them every 2 weeks while you continue your coffee powder ritual, you will be able to see concrete evidence of improvement, whether it appears as a faster rise from the chair, fewer steps needed to walk in line, or a longer, steadier single leg hold. Imagine after a month of this routine, noticing that the time it takes you to stand from the chair has dropped by a few seconds, that you no longer need to pause between steps during the tandem walk, and that your single leg balance has extended beyond 15 seconds. Those are not just numbers, they are signals that your muscles are firing more efficiently, your joints are moving with less resistance, and your nervous system is coordinating movement more smoothly. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity: a single spoonful of powder, a familiar cup of coffee, and a brief twice-monthly check-in with yourself. You might wonder whether there are any precautions to keep in mind. The answer is reassuringly straightforward. The ingredients we are discussing, curcumin, hydrolyzed collagen, and cinnamon, are generally recognized as safe for most adults when consumed in the modest quantities found in a daily coffee blend. However, if you are taking blood-thinning medication, it is wise to consult your physician before adding a high dose of curcumin, as it can have mild anticoagulant effects. Likewise, individuals with a known allergy to shellfish should verify that the collagen source is plant-based, though most commercial powders use bovine or marine sources. As always, start with a small amount, perhaps half a teaspoon of the powder, and observe how your body responds before scaling up to the full recommended spoonful. Listening to your own signals remains the cornerstone of any health protocol. Let us now address a question that often surfaces in the comments. Will this work if I already have osteoarthritis? The short answer is yes, but with nuance. Osteoarthritis involves the gradual breakdown of cartilage, and while no single supplement can reverse advanced degeneration, curcumin's anti-inflammatory action can alleviate the pain that accompanies the condition, and collagen can provide the building blocks for modest tissue repair. Clinical trials have shown that participants with mild to moderate osteoarthritis who took a daily combination of curcumin and collagen reported a reduction in pain scores and an improvement in joint function after several weeks. The key is consistency. The biologic processes of inflammation reduction and collagen synthesis are cumulative, meaning the benefits accrue over time rather than appearing instantly. Pair the powder with gentle, low-impact exercises such as walking, swimming, or Tai Chi, and you will likely experience a synergistic effect that enhances mobility far beyond what coffee alone could achieve. At this point, you may be asking yourself how to incorporate this habit without disrupting your morning routine. The answer is elegantly simple. Prepare your coffee as you normally would, whether you prefer a drip brew, an espresso, or a French press. While the liquid is still hot, add the measured spoonful of powder, stir gently until fully dissolved, and enjoy. The warmth of the beverage helps the collagen dissolve more readily, and the slight bitterness of curcumin is masked by the natural flavor of coffee and a dash of cinnamon, creating a pleasant taste profile that most people find surprisingly smooth. If you find the flavor too strong, a splash of milk or a non-dairy alternative can round it out without diminishing the bioavailability of the active compounds. Now let's pause for a moment and reflect on the broader picture. You have spent decades building a life, nurturing relationships, and contributing to your community. It is natural to feel that age might slow your steps, but science tells us that the body remains remarkably adaptable, even in the seventh decade and beyond. By targeting the three hidden culprits, chronic inflammation, collagen depletion, and erratic glucose spikes, you are essentially giving your musculoskeletal system a fresh set of tools to operate more efficiently. Think of it as a gentle tuning of an instrument that has been played for many years. The notes become clearer, the resonance richer, and the performance more enjoyable. Before we close, I would love to hear from you. Have you tried adding any functional powders to your coffee before? What changes have you noticed in your energy levels or joint comfort? Share your story in the comments below. The community thrives on real-world experiences, and your insight may help someone else take the first step toward a more active life. If this information sparked a new idea for you, consider giving the video a like. A simple thumbs up tells the algorithm that this content is valuable, allowing more people to discover these practical health hacks. And if you feel that the blend of scientific explanation and everyday application resonates with you, feel free to subscribe. By staying connected, you'll receive future updates on nutrition-driven strategies, movement protocols, and other evidence-based tips designed to keep you moving confidently through every stage of life. To recap, we have covered three core mechanisms: curcumin's ability to quiet inflammatory pathways, collagen's role in rebuilding joint scaffolding, and cinnamon's effect on stabilizing blood sugar for sustained muscle energy. We have also introduced a three-part mobility test that you can perform at home, providing a clear benchmark for tracking progress. Remember, the transformation does not happen overnight. It unfolds as you consistently pair your beloved coffee with this purposeful powder. Monitor your functional scores and adjust as needed under professional guidance. Imagine waking up tomorrow, stirring your coffee, feeling that familiar warmth, and knowing that each sip is delivering a cascade of benefits to your joints, muscles, and metabolism. Picture yourself stepping out the door, walking with a spring in your step, climbing a flight of stairs without the usual breathlessness, and ending the day with a sense of accomplishment that your body is responding positively to the care you are providing. That vision is within reach, and the first spoonful is waiting on your kitchen counter. Thank you for staying with me through this deep dive. May your mornings be brighter, your steps steadier, and your journey toward renewed vitality both rewarding and enjoyable. Keep experimenting, keep moving, and most importantly, keep believing that age is a number, not a limitation. Until our next exploration, stay curious and stay healthy.